Alright, y'all, here it is. Comparison. Got the Benelli M4 and the Franchi SPAS-12 comparison video. So this really isn't a fair comparison. There's going to be things that I really, to make it fair, really should have a Benelli M3. That's the convertible shotgun that Benelli made or makes. I think they still make it. Because it had the weight of the shotgun is the reason why. Yeah, so starting off, weight. We'll just cover that right off the bat. The SPAS-12 is a much heavier shotgun. I mean, it was designed in 1979, and it's a convertible shotgun from pump to semi-auto. So there's complexity added to it that the Benelli M4 does not have. Like I said, Benelli M3, the convertible one, I'm pretty sure it's the M3 that is convertible from pump to semi-auto. Probably be a much more fair comparison because it had that same complexity. But regardless, I'm going to do this comparison because these are pretty common movie guns. Yeah, Benelli or Franchi SPAS, old design. It's very, like I said, very complicated, much heavier. And if you have it semi-auto with, let's say we had federal, you know, the flight, whatever loads or any kind of real defensive load, you know, they're going to operate mostly the same as far as their semi-auto shotguns. The gun, this Franchi SPAS-12 was designed to be a semi-auto shotgun that you could make a pump if you needed to. It wasn't designed to be a pumped action, it could be a semi-auto. But some things that add weight to this gun are, it's got a metal adjustable stock, which adds a little bit of weight, or foldable stock, I should say. Of course, this heat shield that goes around everything, that adds weight. The pump is big and bulky weight. Shockingly, receivers are very, very similar in size. Not shockingly, I'm just saying. But because, you know, like I said, you got extra buttons and doodads on this gun that you don't have on the Benelli, it's just weight. As far as probably, I would venture to say, like, notoriety-wise, the SPAS-12 versus the Benelli, as far as people in GWAT and whatnot, and law enforcement since, you know, early 2000s, they're gonna know the Benelli probably. But if I just showed you a picture of a SPAS-12, you may not even know what it is unless you saw this video, or but you recognize the shotgun because it's been so iconic in movies and whatnot. So there's some notoriety there, but that doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot when you're actually buying a gun to shoot. This isn't really a gun you want to shoot. This is more of a collectible piece at this point. Because, as I said before, they quit being imported in 1994 thanks to Joe Biden and Clinton's and all those people who banned weapons and whatnot. And by the time that assault weapons ban sunsetted, like I said in the previous video, they quit making these. So you can't get them anymore. You can't get parts for them anymore. Another plus to the Benelli. This is still in service today for the military. They're still making parts for these. They're still making them. You can still buy them new. Like I said, if you buy the neutered version like this, and you want to convert it, you can do so. It'd have to be 922R compliant parts, but you know, whatever. You still, if you want to put the Benelli stock, yeah, they're expensive as hell. But get it, you know, titanium tube is what I'd recommend, so it's lighter. For the 7-round deal, you get some extended charging handle and bolt release. This thing would be pretty well good to go. Maybe a shell carrier on the side of some type, and and probably a dot, you know, maybe. You know, you can mount a light somehow and get the cool John Wick, you know, the stage saber. Get that sucker on there. Just to be cool, whatever. Awesome shotgun. And for its time, the Franchi SPAS was the awesome shotgun too. You know, the Franchi, I don't even know how they say it. You know, freaking Italians. You know, they were bought out by Benelli at one point, and they bought out, I think Beretta owns them now. But, you know, Beretta and Benelli both make pretty much all the best shotguns. You know, like I said in my Benelli video, I wish I had a 1301 here. I do want one, but you know, that would be the ultimate comparison, because what I think are the two probably best semi-auto shotguns are the M4 and the 1301 Tactical. Even though I haven't shot one yet, it's a Beretta. If it says Beretta, to me, it's good. But that's beside the point. There's really not a lot to say about that. Recoil. Yes, this gun is way lighter. You would think that that means that it would kick more, but no, this one kicks way less, or at least it feels that way, because the stock is much more comfortable. That's to me the primary reason that, you know, this awesome folding stock, it is awesome looking, but it is uncomfortable to shoot, and I just don't really enjoy shooting it. Like I said in the video I did on this, now that I have it, I don't ever want to get rid of it. It's an awesome, cool collector piece. Although I know if I needed to get rid of it, I could and make a ton of money off of it. But it's just a gun that relegated to collector status. You had to, and again, I got this gun for $1,100 a few years ago. $1,100. Because, as I said in that video, none of the people at the gun store owner, he couldn't make it work in semi-auto. I made it work, but that was after I chewed him down on the price. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I negotiated him down, haggled him. Benelli M4. Oh, I'm sorry. So SPAS-12, right now, if you look at them on Gunbroker, the cheapest one I found was like $2,800. Most of them are going for somewhere $4,000 to $5,000 range. Ridiculous. The total collector status, because again, if you buy it, spent that much on it, and it was in mint condition one, you're not going to want to shoot it. Just like I said about the SCAR, it has that precious factor. While the Benelli M4 is not cheap. It's, you know, you're looking at, I mean, I got this at our local AFES, so I didn't pay tax or anything on it, but I still paid like $17.50 for it, which is cheap. I mean, they're usually around here, they're going for 18 plus, and a plus tax. Still not cheap, but if you thought, you know, which one am I going to buy? The Benelli M4, because you can turn around, like I said about the M1A. You know, you can spend the money, get the Benelli collapsible stock, get a titanium to get a shell carrier, get a good shell carrier, get a light mount, get a red dot, and still be well under the price of that SPAS-12, and you'd have a damn good shotgun. Like, you know, I grew up using shotguns when I learned how to hunt in Indiana. You either had to use a handgun or a shotgun. Well, I was, you know, barely, I think I was 12 or 13 when I first started hunting, so shotgun it was. And so I got a lot of time with shotguns. I do like them. I would not, you know, a lot of people say shotguns are, you know, at no place being used as a defensive weapon. I would disagree. You look at Garantham's videos on 12 gauge. You know, he used the Benelli M4. His is much cooler than mine, but what 12 gauge does to tissue. I've seen it over the years too. You know, is it, you know, is it as viable as, let's say, a, you know, assault, you know, like a 308 semi-auto rifle? Maybe not, because you can 308 and go out hundreds of yards. But you know, proper shotgun with good rifle slugs, you know, 100, 150 is not an issue. That people say it is, but my first buck I ever killed was with a 20 gauge rifle slug, and 150 yards, one shot took him down, and he, you know, he's over 200-pound deer. So, you know, in a personal defense situation, do you need to shoot that far? Probably not. Maybe not, but I'm gonna say probably not. And yes, while shotguns have more recoil and they're, you know, less capacity, if you get good with loading a shotgun, it's a very versatile gun, and you don't have to shoot as much. You know, you don't have to put, you know, plan on putting 3 to 5 to 7 rounds of 5.56 into an individual, because they might not go down. Yes, 5.56 is lethal; it's deadly, but you can look at what 12 gauge double-aught buck does to someone at close range. You know, there you go. I mean, Clint Smith said it best. A lot of people are quoting him on this too. Handguns put holes in people. Rifles put holes through people. Shotguns with the right load at the right distance will physically remove a chunk of shit off that individual and throw the shit on the floor. Then they do that. Seen animals go down with shotgun rounds. Seen them go down with rifle rounds. A good rifle 308, say, rifle round, deer might not go anywhere. Shotgun, rifle slug, same thing. You hit them right, they ain't going nowhere. 5.56, not the case. Shot deer, perfect shot before with the, you know, Mark 262, which was, you know, flaunted as a great round in the GWAT. And you know, I've shot a few deer with that round, and they run off. I mean, they die, but they run off. I have to track them. So, you know, while that's not humans, it's still, to me, it says a lot about the, you know, capability of certain rounds. So anyway, that's sidebar. That's probably going to conclude for this. Like I said, Benelli versus SPAS-12. Benelli M4 all day. Yeah, that's going to do it. Until next time, catch y'all later.